Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku and I'm here to review episode 6 of Akashic Records. And another great episode. I still can't believe I'm calling this anime great now. Cause, you know, last week I was just so confused because it seemed like something was going on within the Imperial Army, how they seemed like they were protecting the queen, but it also seemed like that they were keeping her hostage. I was just so confused. Turns out it wasn't really the knights' fault. It was the queen's, I guess, maid. I'm assuming she's a maid because she has the little thing that the maids wear. Her name is Eleanor, and we have no idea why, but Eleanor decided to put on a jewel, a cursed jewel, on the queen. And the only way to deactivate it is if Rumia is killed. We don't know why she wants Rumia killed so much, but she went through all this trouble just to do that. And in the end she escapes with the words, Akashic Records. Roll credits. So the reason why Celica and the queen or any of the knights couldn't say anything is because if they did, then the jewel would have killed the queen. Honestly, the slightest mistake could have killed the queen, but luckily Glenn used Zafool, as I personally like to call it, although I believe it's called the Fool Arcania or something like that, but I'm still gonna call it Zafool. Oh yeah, and that whole thing with Albert and Riel, which is quite an interesting way to spell her name. But anyway, Albert and Riel decide to help Glenn. And really, Riel just kind of has like a personal grudge on Glenn, wanting to beat him for whatever reason. But Albert's all good. In reality, Riel's all good as well. So they trust each other and decide to disguise as each other so that Glenn and Rumia were able to get closer to the queen while it looked like Albert and Riel were disguised as, you know, Glenn and Rumia, and they were like running off. It was a good plan. Oh yeah, and class 2A1, congrats! And I gotta hand to Sistine. She can come off as quite the typical tsundere, and she honestly is not in the slightest one of the most unique tsunderes, but I wouldn't say she's one of the most basic of tsunderes either. I'd say she kind of falls around the middle, but she does have her moments, and this was one of them, just like back over in episode 2 or 3 when she like helped out Glenn. I think that was like episode 3. But yeah, in this episode she pulled through, helped her class, and even got quite the saucy moment, if you know what I'm saying, where she's just all over Glenn and she was like drunk. It's just like, oh god, how'd you get like this? Turns out all the students got like this by drinking, not drinking, but eating too much brandy cake. I love it. That's fantastic. I gotta say, I was really feeling it when Rumia was told off by her mom saying how she didn't love her and how she wanted to kill Rumia, but she had to do it. She had to say that the queen needed to, and luckily Glenn was able to figure things out, and you know, Rumia and her mother was able to share this very touching moment, and Rumia was finally able to call the queen mom. So I'm so happy for Rumia, and I was afraid that this would be like the end of Rumia's arc, but luckily when Albert and Riel were asking why Eleanor was doing this, and then Eleanor was saying Akashic Records, so it seems that Rumia is connected to these Akashic Records. I don't really know, or maybe not really. Perhaps Rumia is in the way of the Akashic Records because Eleanor wanted Rumia dead. So I don't know. Like I said in the beginning, great episode. I am enjoying this ride, and if Akashic Records keeps it up, it might end up being like in the top 5 of the anime of the season. Nah, I'm just kidding. We have way too many sequels for this to make it into the top 5, and we have a couple of really solid new anime as well, like, you know, Recreators, so yeah. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this episode. Did you enjoy it? Are you excited to see what else is to come? What do you think is going on with Eleanor and these Akashic Records? And catch me tomorrow as I review Sakura Quest and Buso Shoujo. I'm your female otaku. Sayonara.